Yeah, you have to be close to it.
Okay. Well, a lot has happened since our speaker MK last spoke to us in 2016.
Speak into the mic.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't sure. I had this other thing on. I wasn't sure what was happening. But anyway, okay. As the co-founder and education coordinator of the Rock and Read project, she is excited about the progress they've made, and she's here to tell us about it. In brief, Rock and Read is dedicated to helping families, educators, and organizers use singing and basic music skills to develop young brains through reading, and created a PreK kindergarten curriculum and provides professional development for early childhood educators. Formerly, she was an elementary and middle school music teacher, choir director, instructor of music teachers and classroom teachers, and associate director of graduate music education at the University of St. Thomas. So welcome, Ann, and give us some good news updates.
Great. Thank you, Peggy. Thank you. I've known Peggy a long time. I didn't realize it was 2016 I spoke. So that was 2 years after we started Rock and Read. Right. Yeah. So I'm aware of my time, right? I'm supposed to end at 1:15. Okay. So we're going to go fast. So this is one of our favorite slogans now, sing today, read forever. And a lot of people say, wait a minute. What does singing have to do with reading? I mean, we make music for a 10 zillion reasons, right? But now science has added one more, brain development. So, even in my profession, people say, we do music for music's sake. I said, do we do math for math's sake? Do we do social studies for social studies' sake? I mean, what's this silly business? We do it for a whole host of reasons. And mostly we should be aware that it activates more areas of the brain than any other singular activity. So it might mean that we're just crazy, but Now let's see if I can get this.
Incredible update on a young Minnesota boy we first introduced you to a couple of years ago. Daniel Brundage, who has autism and is mostly nonverbal, found his voice after listening to the hit song, you'll never believe this, Old Town Road. Here's the video in case you missed it. Here's why this is so remarkable. Daniel's sing-along was the very first time he had ever strung words together. Yeah, his mom Shaletta called it an Old Town Road miracle. Daniel is still unstoppable. We're happy to tell you that now 6-year-old can read at a 4th grade level. Shaletta even wrote this children's book coming out next month about her son's journey titled Daniel Finds His Voice.
So that's here. Shaletta Brundage is on WCCO. She has her own podcast, whatever. And I met her children, and Daniel signed the book that I bought. And why I use this is that they did not realize that music making was so powerful for language development and literacy. And right now we have a lot of injustice going on about literacy, but we've known it for decades. This is no new news. We just keep reading, oh, it got worse after the pandemic, blah, blah, blah. Here are the facts. I work with research. I base everything I do off research. Doesn't mean that the research is stellar or everything, but it points us in the direction we hopefully will go. And on the last national assessment, 40% of American 4th graders could not read at a basic level. So people talk about proficiency all the time. Oh, this district has 60%. I'm going to stop talking about proficiency. I want to know what's going on with a huge part of our population who can't read at a basic level. At 4th grade, they stop teaching you how to read. You're supposed to read to learn, right? So I made this graph by looking at the national assessment. And when you slice and dice the data on ethnic and economic, it's horrifying about how many kids cannot read at a basic level. And that's in Minnesota. So 39%, we do pretty well. Well, yeah, we usually have the top ACT scores, but let's look at the bottom. 39% overall cannot read at a basic level by 4th grade. So this is very disturbing. And we are rock, which is rock and read, right? So that's what we're looking at. We're offering a research-based solution. Use singing in basic music skills. That's the difference here between what we're saying and the past. to develop auditory processing, which is the foundation of language and literacy. So this is a slide from Dr. Nina Kraus. She's at Northwestern University. She's like the premier neurobiologist who studies how the brain processes sound. They can tell that that little 3-year-old person is going to struggle with reading by the way he processes sound. And nobody's ever taught him how to read, right? So wow, it's the biology of the brain. And it starts at 4 to 5 months in the womb. Baby starts to hear, fetus starts to hear. And guess what? Singing is vibration, and that helps develop sound processing, right, in the brain. And a lot of people say, well, I can't sing. I didn't get that special gift or talent. I said, maybe you think of singing a little different way, but this is singing. I call it warbling. That's babies are like a few weeks old. And here's another baby. How about this one? Can't walk, can't talk, but I mean, whoa. And anticipating a pitch, singing a pitch in the next chord. So he's heard Dad play that chord pattern so many times, he's already picking out what he's going to sing. So anyway, what's the research? I always say, what's the research? These brain functions are correlated with reading achievement. Now somebody will challenge me and say, well, they're not causing it. I said, we're getting close. Auditory processing, auditory memory, phonological awareness, which actually develops best at 3 to 6 months, way before they talk, and beat synchronization. And one takeaway that you can have as grandparents or parents or aunts and uncles, if a child can't keep a steady beat, they are likely to struggle with reading. Who knew? So it's not just bopping out to the music, it's can the child keep a beat? So, all right, let's all keep the beat here. Let's sing. Did you see that? I should have started with this. Did you see that Megan Trainor? Let's slow it down. It's all about the bass, about the bass. You know that? It's an ad running right now. Well, that song, I just turned it into a whole nother one. Can you come with me? It's all about the brain, no trouble. All about the brain, no trouble. It's all about the brain, no trouble. It's all about the brain, your turn. It's all about the brain, no trouble. All about the brain, no trouble. It's all about the brain, no trouble. It's all about the brain, Thank you for singing with me. I was going to start with that and I forgot all about it. Anyway, that's keeping the beat. We were keeping the beat. Bum, da, da, bum, da, da. That's motion's keeping the beat. The body keeps the beat, right? We started in 2014. We built a bus. We took it to kids in North Minneapolis. We helped on the bus. Every kids came on the bus. Minneapolis Public Summer School and the YMCA. So my partner Bill built that bus. We bought the used MTC bus. We got used computers from Tech Dump. I think that's up in Golden Valley here. I don't think there was much written about it, but we found out they had used computers. We had over 200 used computers that we were using in schools after that. We got $600,000 from the state legislature. Somebody said, who was your lobbyist? How'd you get that money? I said, moi. Our legislator said I could get you some money. I was like, okay, great. And we helped 2,500 second through fifth graders in schools with a singing-based software. We purchased licenses. We don't own it. It's called Tune Into Reading. But the guy who had developed it was he played in a jazz band, he played in a rock band, and he couldn't sing in tune. And he wanted to learn to sing. And he was like in his 50s. So he had a friend who was an IT guy, and he said, would you write me a software if I could see a line for my voice, that's the blue line, and get it into the other lines approximating the melodic contour? I think I could learn to sing in tune. And every time you sang with it, you get a score out of 100 on your singing accuracy. And he learned to sing in tune. And he was a businessman in Tampa, and he said, hey, maybe other people could learn to sing in tune. Yeah, okay. And so he said, bad singers wanted at his businesses. He was owned a bunch of businesses. And this one, people came in and took this software home. Should we market this? Is what he was thinking. And one woman had a 12-year-old daughter, and she was a struggling reader. And all of a sudden, she started to read well. And the school called home and said, did you get a tutor? They said, no. Is there anything new in your home? Well, she's singing with this thing. Anyway, Carlo went, wow, we have a reading problem. If singing could help reading. So anyway, he marketed that product, and it was in Target when I found it in 2008. It was called Singing Coach, a way to better your singing. But accidentally, they found that children were jumping up and reading. And so they created Tune Into Reading, same underlying software. Our biggest year, we had 9 schools. We hired a data analyst. Most of the kids in the red were not reading proficiently on the state reading test, Minnesota reading test. And after 13 and a half hours of singing with that software program, 1/3 of them went up to partly meets on the next time they took that test at the end of the year. And it affirms the existing research, controlled research studies on it, that the kids make 1 year in 13 and a half hours on average, 1 year of reading achievement, and only 13 and a half hours of singing songs repeatedly with that program. Okay, all of that to say, we couldn't get schools to continue, even when we showed them the data. So I'm not here to blame anybody, but schools are busy. They didn't have enough computers, whatever it was. They thought they'd try something different. Even when they saw the data, they did not continue. So we stopped at 2021. Our 5-year project ended. We left 75,000 on the table. Went back to the general fund. So now we've refocused on early childhood. So I picked 4 basic skills that there's enough research about the connection or correlation between these skills and reading achievement. Patting that steady beat, clapping the rhythm of the words of a song, matching the pitch, and singing a tune. And the research says that kids can learn how to do this, but that the only research I could find was that 88% of kindergarten and first graders in one study could not do it. Wow, keeping a steady beat, it's so simple to develop. But I always say, I know adults who don't swim. All babies can learn to swim. So they'll say, I didn't get that special gift. Well, did you get in the pool? It's the same thing. Everybody can learn this. But we have to shoot a couple myths. One myth is that music is a special talent that only some people have. And that's not true. Music, all babies are musical. They have to develop it, but all babies can learn to swim. All babies can learn to ride bikes, barring physical disabilities, of course. So anyway, and the other one was adults who can't keep a beat or sing a tune are hopeless. Not so. Just like Carlo, he learned to sing in tune in his 50s with feedback. What do you know? No, he wasn't as good as a kid who learns to sing in tune. But there are apps out there, there are programs, and people go, what? No, I'm hopeless. No, that's not true. It's just self-deception. You just tell yourself that. So you don't have to do anything. Anyway, so what does it look like with babies? Because that's what we work with now.
Did you know that even at 3 months old, the baby is starting to learn music and that they can actually sing with you?
So, and then I show teachers how to do it. So, and parents, it looks like this.
What do we do with the baby? What do we do with the baby?
And kids can teach kids.
Show her how to dance. She would do hickory dickory dock.
You have to hit it hard, but the baby gets it already because those are my grandchildren. And it looks like this as they get older, keeping a beat. Jump rope is a steady beat activity, right? Bouncing a ball can be a steady beat. And a lot of people don't understand pitch matching. And then progression. So here's a little child at 18 months. Wow, playing with sound. And the same child at 24 months. It's a learnable skill. And what we do is we teach basic skills. So on the phone, you can download a free metronome, or you can have a metronome and just have children pat the beat. Can you take two hands and pat on the desk, on the table? Right when it hits. Cool. How about this one? Yeah, hard to hear that. Yep, perfect, perfect. So that's what children need to do. It's very simple. It's very simple. So it's not, appreciating music. You appreciate mostly what you know how to do, right? So you can download a free pitch pipe on your phone and play pitches. Who can match? Ooh. Kids go, ooh, 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 ooh. Try to find where it is. Ooh. And you can show, oh, you're too low, you're too high. You can help them. Ooh, 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 you're almost there. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Until they find the pitch. They match the sound hitting their ear. And so we work with teachers on using illustrated song tales. There's tons of them in different languages. In other words, this is not language specific. People say, well, what songs do you use? Are they from many different cultures? I say, you can keep the beat with any song with any culture. Oh, it's a very different way of thinking than people have been thinking. And we developed a musical fitness assessment. There are physical fitness assessments, right? Emotional fitness assessments, MMPI, right? Okay, well, what about a musical fitness? The ability to keep a steady beat, clap the rhythm of the words of the song, match a pitch, all of that. We went to an area school. These are the first graders. They took a reading test. That's the 4 parts of the reading test. And we gave them that music skills test. It's correlated with all 4 areas. So the better they were at those 4 music skills, the better on average they scored on the reading test. So I developed a curriculum. We published it in the fall. It's called A Song a Day Brain Prep for Pre-Readers. There are 50 lessons, and you do lesson 1, then you do lesson 2. It's direct instruction. Kids love them. And we tested out that with 2 groups of pre-K and kindergarten teachers, and we found out significant correlation, statistically significant correlation. In other words, the 50 lessons in 50 days, they improve their music skills. What do you know? So we have free things online, the music assessments online, and then 3 different languages. These skills I've been showing you, the metronome in 3 different languages. And I just finished a Head Start study in Minneapolis. It's Head Start is PreK Head Start, 14 sites I think they have in Hennepin County. I just in-service the teachers like I'm doing now, and I said, sing more all day, chant any songs you want, any language you want. But we're going to assess their music skills pre and post. So after 4 months, they assess their kids again on the musical fitness assessment. Every single skill, pre is blue, yellow is post. Every single skill went up. The one that went up the most was Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, singing Twinkle, Twinkle, being able to keep the beat, the underlying pulse while you sang the song. That's beat while singing. Went from 54, that's a score, to 87. So based on that, I'm going to be in-servicing, doing 5 sessions for Head Start this August, where they're going to expand. And also all the teachers said they would recommend it to everybody else. Doesn't use a curriculum at all. It's just skills. They practice the skills with any songs that they sing. We're trying to launch a movement, musical fitness movement. There's a physical fitness movement that happened 65 years ago with the U.S. Physical Fitness Program. Why don't we have a musical fitness program? All children musically fit and ready to read by kindergarten. That's our model that happened 65 years ago. JFK, under the President's Council on Youth Fitness, became the President's Council on Fitness. And I think it was the catalyst that transformed our view. Now everybody knows exercise is good for our health. But 65 years ago, they did not. If you saw somebody jogging, thinking about our marathoner here, you'd call the police. There must be an emergency. Nobody ran just to run. So I think it's time to transform our perspective about music making, and we're going to hold a summit. I'm just at the end. Music Making Matters Summit will be, I think, November 6th. We're bringing in a neuroscientist. We'll give evidence-based strategies to early childhood organizations, and we want to launch that movement. Thank you. Fast as I could go.
Don't leave yet.
Oh, don't leave yet.
As a thank you,
Oh.
I have some note
Oh.
cards for you. These are seeds of
Oh.
Golden Valley.
Oh, what a great
All right.
idea. Oh my gosh. Photos.
All right.
Thank you.
Now will everyone rise?